Hello everyone, I'm Max, and today I'm here to maximize your fear. The clearest and most convincing Bigfoot sightings and encounters on the internet. I often pride myself on finding the best Bigfoot videos and Bigfoot evidence ever. So today I put together a compilation of only the clearest, most convincing, and most disturbing Bigfoot sightings ever caught on camera. Alright, so grab your I Found Bigfoot coffee mugs and allow your fear to be maximized as we recap the best Bigfoot clips of all time. This is one of the clearest Bigfoot sightings I've ever seen. It was posted on July 5th, 2023. The caption reads, "Unknown animal caught on camera in the woods." The person states, "At first I thought this was a bear, but then I realized it's definitely no bear." As you can see, the video shows a Sasquatch-looking creature hiding within the brush. Once it notices it has been seen, it quickly flees and hides. This thing has broad shoulders and appears very tall and wide. It appears much wider and taller than a human. If I had to guess, I would say, judging by where it's standing, that it's at least 7 to 9 feet tall, maybe even taller. In an attempt to debunk the footage, skeptics began commenting that it could just be a man in a suit. However, because it's so tall and so wide, most believe there's no way it was someone in a costume. Like, just look at the size of this thing compared to the tree beside it. It makes the tree look tiny even though it's a pretty big tree. Could this be real Bigfoot caught on camera? Finally, some clear footage of one of these beings. Taking a look at some mysterious footage. It was apparently taken by a man named Harley Hoffman. It happened somewhere in British Columbia. Take a look as the footage shows a pretty clear video of what looks like Bigfoot walking through the woods. It's pretty clear and easy to see. It looks exactly like what a Bigfoot is supposed to look like. Long black hair, tall and wide. The evidence is pretty compelling. Let's replay it again. And real quick, before this video starts, I just released some of the best Bigfoot merchandise of all time. From coffee mugs to stickers to all the clothing you could imagine. I present to you I Found Bigfoot. Everything comes in many different colors and sizes, so it's perfect for everyone. So if you love all things Bigfoot and you love what I do here on YouTube and want to support me, go ahead and grab some exclusive merchandise just in time for spooky season. All you have to do is scroll down below this video and you'll see my showcase of products and you can purchase them from there. Or you could simply visit the store from my YouTube homepage. Or you can simply visit maximumfear.myspreadshop.com. That's maximumfear.myspreadshop.com. Thank you very much, and back to the video. The video was taken by a trail camera mounted near a crime scene in the woods. And I did some digging but was unable to find any details about the crime scene. But all we know is that it was reportedly miles back into the woods. They put the trail cam there to monitor the area and potentially pick up some extra clues. But instead they caught this. An absolutely massive creature covered in dark hair is caught. The creature is obviously angry for some reason, as it powerfully moves around giant tree limbs. It practically destroys the area, tossing around these huge tree branches with ease. Someone or something would have to be extremely strong to be able to do this, and that's why most believe this is a real Bigfoot sighting. Bigfoots are said to behave in this way. They reportedly often destroy trees and land, sometimes to build themselves shelters or sometimes just out of pure anger. But taking a closer look at the appearance of this supposed creature, it's covered in dense black fur, and its face seems to be exposed, revealing dark, hollow eyes. It has broad shoulders and a wide stature, and it's very tall as well. My estimate is that it's about 8 feet tall. Even though the footage is rather clear, some have their doubts, saying that it could just be a man in a costume or something. But how could a man in a costume appear this tall and wide, and how are they this strong? It really makes you wonder. The following mysterious video was released to the public on October 27th, 2023. It was taken by a trail camera that some hunters put up. The purpose of the camera was to monitor the nearby area and to see what kind of wildlife is out there. But one night at exactly 10:26 p.m., the camera caught this. An armed police officer is seen walking by. But 3 minutes later at 10:29 p.m., the trail cam was triggered again, and some massive predator is seen. This dark, hairy, bipedal beast slowly walks through the shot. It appears absolutely massive. It's very tall and very wide, estimated at a height of about 8 feet. Now, lots of details were left unknown about this footage, like where it was filmed and why the police officer was even out there in the woods in the first place. But online viewers speculate that maybe this police officer was being hunted down by this creature, and that's why he had his firearm ready. Because of the overall look of this supposed creature, most drew connections to Bigfoot. But skeptics weren't buying it and hypothesized that it was a man in a ghillie suit. However, because of how wide and tall it is, it's highly unlikely. And taking a closer look at this shot here of the being's arm, it's distinct, not like a human in a ghillie suit. It appears much larger than a human's arm. Anyways, what do you guys think? Definitely some very compelling evidence. Taking a look at some groundbreaking footage of the infamous Bigfoot. A man was flying around his drone one day. He was flying it over the woods, attempting to get some really cool footage of the forest and the wildlife. But what he eventually captured was not at all what he expected. As he flew the drone above the trees, he unintentionally captures what could be some of the most convincing evidence of Bigfoot ever. A hairy bipedal creature is seen making its way down the snowy path. It leisurely walks along, unaware of the presence of the drone above. Skeptics immediately tried to debunk the footage by calling the creature a gorilla. But the way this thing walks is just so human. You can tell when it's a gorilla or primate by the way they hunch over when they walk around. And judging by this walk here, this doesn't look like one at all. Also, we need to consider the fact that the footage was taken somewhere in the US, and the US is not home to any primates. So I'll leave this one up to you, the viewers. Is this real footage of Bigfoot? Now, I mean it when I say this here really could be some of the most convincing and clearest Bigfoot footage ever. People always say, how come every Bigfoot video is blurry? Well, this one isn't at all. Take a look. The video was originally released in 2021, and according to NVTV, the sighting comes from deep within the woods of Idaho. However, they never listed an exact, precise location, but just look at this footage, it looks insanely real. Many experts took a look at the footage, and the main thing a lot of them pointed out was how long the arms are, and also the curved shape of the hand and wrist as it walks. They also discussed the defined muscle structure. Some even stated that you can see the calf muscle on its leg move as it walks, confirming it's a real, living creature. However, skeptics argue that this could be a man in a costume, but how could it possibly look this realistic with real working muscles? It's also substantially taller and wider than a human, estimated at least 8 feet tall. Taking all of this information into consideration, what do you guys think? Is this clear up-close footage of a real Sasquatch, or is it somehow all just a hoax? The following clip shows extremely close-up footage of what certainly could be a Bigfoot.
Ach, geil. Wir nehmen jetzt natürlich auch schon mit auf, logischerweise, weil jetzt ist er noch so ohne. Ach, geil.
As we can see, a brownish orange-haired beast walks through a clearing in the woods, caught by the camera of a couple hikers. An exact location was not listed, but the footage truly is convincing. Skeptics immediately tried to debunk the close-up encounter by saying it's just a man in a costume of some sort. But believers quickly clapped back at the claims, saying that it couldn't possibly be a suit because of the height, shoulders, and even its very defined muscle structure. Its leg muscles, back muscles, and glutes are all super defined. If it were a costume, they would not be able to flex and move around like this. Also, taking a look at the way it walks, its strides are almost human, but not quite, if you know what I mean. And this is what is making people even more convinced. It really is some of the closest supposed Sasquatch footage I've ever seen. Let me know what you guys think. Deep within the woods of Hudson Valley, New York, come two inexplicable photos. Photos that seem to capture a juvenile Bigfoot. Here's the first photo. Initially taken in 2022, but just now making waves on social media, the photos are puzzling even scientists. The dark, hairy creature seems smaller than a typical Bigfoot, but does share the same characteristics, leading many to believe it's a baby or a small juvenile. So that was the first photo. Here is the second one. This one is much more zoomed in, showing us all the details. We can see it has dark, wiry hair along with a strong bone structure in the facial area. The photo is also pretty clear in HD. And the creature just looks extremely realistic, making many believe this one is the real deal. And considering it comes from New York, it can't be a monkey or anything. And also, judging by the realistic look, it can't be a person in a costume, leaving us with not many other worldly theories. Now this here is some of the closest and clearest footage of a supposed Bigfoot I've ever seen. It's insanely HD and we can make out every single detail on the being's face. Here is the footage. The video clip comes from a dedicated Bigfoot and cryptid researcher. He has spent a lot of his life trying to locate and film these creatures. He has traveled the world visiting Sasquatch hotspots and other infamous locations. And this is some of his best footage of all time. I mean, look at this. It's very clearly not a costume, the hair is real and the mouth and nose seem to be real. It even moves around and tries to hide itself behind and between the foliage surrounding. If this is a hoax, it's some of the best hoaxing of all time, because it's almost impossible to fake such clear footage. Regardless, it's some of the clearest potential evidence you'll ever see, landing it on today's list. This here is one of the most convincing Bigfoot encounters ever. In order for you to truly understand how convincing this footage is, I have to tell you the whole story. A couple were in Port Renfrew, a small town in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, specifically on Vancouver Island, when they would have this encounter that they couldn't explain. The man states that this was he and his wife Wendy's first trip out there to that area in Port Renfrew, but as they were driving along, they found a spot that intrigued them. The man recalls that off the sides of the roads there were lots of streams and rivers and it was very scenic. This intrigued Wendy and she said, "Hey, we should go out for a hike by one of those streams." So that's what they did. They parked their car and began their quick hike, and were even able to cross over one of the streams because of how low the water levels were. After they crossed this stream, they recalled seeing a small trail that looked to be a deer trail. Being the adventurers they were, they followed the trail that led back into the deep forest. They made their way back, and not long after began hearing branches breaking and movement coming from the trees behind. They looked over and expected to see maybe a deer or even a bear, but instead, this is what they saw. The wife spots it first. She looked at her husband with her finger to her lip to indicate him to be quiet, and she pointed in the direction of the beast. About 200 feet from them is a massive, unidentified creature. It has lightish colored fur and it has extremely broad shoulders. It seems it's trying to hide in the brush. Even though we can only see the top right portion of the creature, we can tell it's something massive and not any animal we know of. The couple recalls they first thought it was a bear, but realized it was more bipedal. And it also had way lighter fur than the black bears in the area. And it also had a cone-shaped head. They also later stated that the area near the creature had a musty smell to it. Definitely some convincing evidence. The couple doesn't know what it was, but their best guess is Bigfoot. What do you guys think about this one? Taking a look at some of the clearest and closest footage of Bigfoot ever. An explorer and a renowned researcher was out in the woods with his camera. He was out in a specific area that was infamous for being a supposed Bigfoot hotspot. He explored and looked around the area for some time until eventually something within the fallen vegetation caught his eye. He has a hard time getting his camera to focus at first, but it finally focuses and we get extremely clear footage of this creature's face. It's gorilla-like, but human-like at the same time. The video is so clear that we can make out every single detail of its face. From its defined forehead wrinkles and skin to its blinking eyes and huge nose. We can tell it's not a gorilla because gorillas have fur that starts very low on its forehead like this one here, and this creature here doesn't. And there's something about its eyes that just seem human-like. The researcher is adamant that this here is 100% real footage, and that he believes it truly was the elusive Bigfoot. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments down below. A hiker was out hiking one day when he stumbled upon something that no one would ever think they would stumble upon. The man was an experienced outdoorsman and he's seen a lot of crazy stuff in the wild. But what he saw this day not only shocked him but scarred him for life. The disturbing scene was documented with his phone.
Where was that? Jesus.
The grisly scene is downright disturbing. What looks to be the corpse of a baby Sasquatch is seen. It looks extremely realistic and the hiker swears it's the real deal. The face seems to be slightly decomposing, but we can still see what it looks like. It has a massive and very veiny stomach with less fur in that area. And it has slender legs and arms. The detail on this creature is crazy. If this is somehow a prop just used for a hoax, this is some crazy work that would be almost impossible to create. It's unknown if authorities were called to retrieve the body and do tests on it, but I'm sure authorities wouldn't even want us to know about it, so they could have easily covered it up and kept the information hidden. But I'll keep you all updated if more information is released. The following clear photo was reportedly taken by a trail camera in a remote forest. Like usual, the trail cam owner placed it there to monitor wildlife in the area, but this was not the kind of wildlife he expected. The motion and heat detecting trail camera snapped this solo photo. The creature is turned around, walking away from the camera. It has long black fur all over its entire body. The muscle structure of the arms and legs tells us it's most likely not a costume, as you can literally see the creature's defined muscles. Even its shoulders and head are defined, making this a very convincing photo. Also, taking a look at its fingers, they're much wider and longer than humans' fingers, and monkeys' fingers as well, proving this couldn't be any type of ape or monkey, or human. Considering the location wasn't listed, we don't know where exactly the photo comes from, but we do know it was taken in 2023. Definitely a very convincing photo, a clear and HD photo of a supposed Bigfoot. This HD trail camera video is shocking the world, and it may just prove the existence of Bigfoot. The caption of the video states, "A man comes across a strange and out-of-place makeshift shelter made out of fallen trees and branches in the dense forest near Crescent Falls, Alberta, Canada." He inspects the site and is intrigued. He decides to leave a trail camera that takes live video footage strapped to a tree, aiming right at the shelter. He comes back the next day and retrieves the camera and takes a look at what it captured. And what he captured would change his life forever. The live footage camera catches an absolutely huge hairy beast standing upright. The uploader called this creature the Kiwatan, a name given to the creature by locals. It's supposedly a close relative of the Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Kiwatan translates to forest beast, sometimes referred to as Kiwatan Wapiaway, which translates to forest beast of darkness. But just look at this footage. The trail camera captures the creature multiple different times, each time recording clear, up-close footage. The first clip here was captured at night, showing the creature just standing there beside its shelter. But the being appears twice more throughout the day, most likely unaware that a camera was watching its every move. Analyzing this shot, the Bigfoot-like creature completely towers over the shelter. Experts estimate the height to be around 8 to 9 feet tall. It has broad shoulders, a wide stature, a dome-shaped head, characteristics often linked to Bigfoot. Now this really does have to be some of the most convincing Bigfoot evidence ever. And once again, it comes from Canada. What the heck is up with Canada recently? The following trail cam video depicts what is said to be close-up and clear footage of a Bigfoot. To some, it's some of the most convincing evidence yet. According to NVTV, the location was near Klamath River, on the Oregon and California border. The trail camera was strapped to a tree branch about 10 feet off the ground. Take a look at the horrifying footage. The camera initially put there to record a feeder below captures a behemoth creature. It's dark and completely covered in long shaggy hair. Its face looks terrifying. Its face resembles a monkey's, but it's obviously not a monkey of any kind. And considering the camera was placed 10 feet up, this beastly creature's height is estimated at around 8 feet tall, since its head is only a couple feet down. But look at the size of the arm and the leg in this shot here. Its limbs are too thick and defined to be someone in a costume. This crazy realistic footage has not yet been debunked, and is even puzzling experts. So what do you guys think it was? Was it a Bigfoot? In June of 2023, a mother and daughter were walking along a path in the woods. A path they were very familiar with. They walked here frequently and never really had any strange or scary encounters in the area. But this day they did. As they wandered along enjoying the peacefulness of nature, a huge unidentified creature interrupted them.
Oh, come on inside! Carly!
Seen in the brush just off the path is a giant hairy beast. When it notices it's been seen, it turns and flees. And you can tell the mother in the footage is completely freaked out and is calling for her daughter to run inside. Even though she was startled, she kept her composure enough to capture a pretty decent piece of footage of the creature. Zooming in and looking closer, it's covered in brownish fur. And its face and hands seem to be the only spots on its body not covered in fur. But its face looks horrifying. The main debate of this footage is whether it's a person in a costume or not. Some say because the fur looks cleanly shaved that it has to be a man in a costume. However, it's approximately 8 feet tall and the shoulders are very broad and its stature is very wide. So there's not really any way it could be a human. Maybe it's some sort of prop though? I don't know. This one is interesting for sure, but it definitely leaves us with many more questions than answers. A man named Stacy Brown Jr., a well-renowned cryptid enthusiast and film director, released some truly unsettling evidence taken by a trail camera. Once again, the trail camera that took this photo was a picture-taking trail cam that snaps pictures when the motion and heat requirements are met. With that being said, here is the photo. Cryptozoologists are adamant that this is a real Bigfoot caught on camera. Zooming in and looking closer, the strange creature does look monkey-like, but something seems off about its face. And latched onto it is what's said to be a baby Sasquatch. The motion blur on the baby tells us that it was something alive because it was moving around. However, despite the label of a Bigfoot photo, some speculate that it could have been an escaped monkey from a nearby zoo or something. But why does its face look like that? Could it just be a deformed or injured monkey? If so, how did it get here in the first place, as this area does not inhabit any monkeys? It looks like we'll never know truly, but what do you guys think? Is it just a very deformed monkey, or is this really a Bigfoot or some other cryptid creature? Alright, I think that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash the like buttons, mom. Let's aim for 2,000 likes for another one of these scary trail camera videos. And if you want to get to know me more, you want to see more of my spooky content, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Maxwell Fear. You can go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Maximum Fear YT. And be sure to subscribe to the channel because only 14% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. And be sure to hit that bell as well so you don't miss when I upload. And also feel free to check out my special Maximum Fear merchandise and coffee mugs. They're in the description down below. Also be sure to check out my brand new second channel where I post other scary content that you guys would definitely love. Alright, I hope your fear was maximized. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.